Greetings, fellow seekers of psychological and philosophical enlightenment. Welcome back to another installment of our discourse. Before we delve into the depths of our discussion, we wish to extend our heartfelt gratitude for the support you have bestowed upon us. The mission of our intellectual journey is to render the realms of psychology and mental well-being accessible to all, and it is through your aid that we have progressed towards this noble aspiration. Thus, we express our sincerest thanks. Now, returning to the focal point of our discourse, are you aware that certain habitual practices in our daily lives may inflict detriment upon our cerebral faculties? We are not merely addressing their implications on our psychological welfare, rather, these habits are intricately linked to the potential impairment of our cerebral faculties. This realization is paramount, for compromised cerebral tissues render us more susceptible to afflictions such as dementia and Alzheimer's disease, which stem from cognitive decline. Henceforth, the acknowledgement of these habitual inclinations may serve to mitigate the risks posed to our cerebral integrity. With that being said, let us proceed to elucidate the 9 pernicious habits that may undermine the well-being of our minds. However, before we embark on this elucidation, it behoves us to reiterate that this discourse serves purely educational purposes and is not intended to supplant medical or professional diagnosis. Should you harbor suspicions regarding cognitive decline or any general health concerns, we fervently implore you to seek counsel from accredited healthcare professionals. 1. Lingering in excessive darkness. Do you find yourself often staring into the abyss of complete darkness, hoping to drift into slumber, but finding it elusive? Do you harbor a penchant for dwelling in dimness, be it daytime or night? The dearth of natural light may cast a pall of despondency upon your psyche, potentially casting a shadow upon your cerebral faculties. Sunlight serves as a tonic for sustaining optimal cognitive function. Bereft of its illumination, your cerebral chronometer may falter in discerning the opportune moment to release the soporific embrace of melatonin. Indeed, the protracted immersion in darkness may ironically precipitate a deprivation of sleep. 2. Indulging in excessive consumption of adverse news. Are you cognizant of the profound impact that your daily media consumption can exert upon your emotional, cognitive, and behavioral disposition? According to the discourse of psychotherapists, the protracted perusal of news updates may prove deleterious, for the sustained exposure to adverse tidings may cast a pall over the cognitive landscape. The gluttonous ingestion of negative news narratives may elicit a primal response, inducing a flight or fight reflex that reverberates throughout the corpus, potentially sowing seeds of discord within the realm of physical, emotional, and psychological well-being. 3. Blasting headphones. Are you aware of the potential harm that excessive volume while listening to music through headphones may inflict upon the cerebral domain? Although the use of headphones for musical indulgence may be convenient and conducive to relaxation, subjecting one's ears to prolonged blasts of high-decibel tunes may prove to be more bane than boon. Concurring experts opine that such auditory bombardment could precipitate auditory impairment, potentially heralding a cacophony of memory impairments. 4. Social isolation. Do you habitually eschew social engagements and gatherings? The ramifications of social isolation may indeed be profound. Beyond the well-documented psychological toll synonymous with social seclusion, such as the specter of despondency, there exists a veritable labyrinth of deleterious effects that reverberate within the cerebral realm. According to a study conducted by Ohio State University in 2012, protracted exposure to the crucible of social isolation engenders a neurobiological response within the cerebral precincts, rendering one more susceptible to the ravages of cerebrovascular afflictions. 5. Excessive screen time. Do you find yourself ensconced in the digital realms of the internet or social media for prolonged durations? Excessive screen time not only poses a threat to one's psychological well-being, but also casts a shadow upon critical cerebral territories, such as the frontal lobe, wherein the crucible of higher-order cognition unfolds. Though it is nigh impossible to completely eschew the allure of modern technology or the siren call of social media in the contemporary epoch, it behoves one to exercise judicious restraint and temperance in their engagement with screens. 6. Excessive sugar consumption. Are you inclined to indulge in confections such as chocolate bars, cupcakes, or sodas at the close of each day? Such proclivities may stem from the brain's proclivity to seek solace in saccharine delights as a response to stress. However, it is imperative to exercise caution regarding the quantum of sugar one ingests. As espoused by pharmaceutical sources, overconsumption of sugar may precipitate an imbalance of nutrients within the body, thereby exacerbating the specter of cerebral malnourishment. 7. Skipping breakfast. How frequently do you find yourself bypassing the morning repast? Whether due to the hurried hustle upon awakening or a lack of appetite in the early hours, the allure of skipping breakfast may seem enticing. However, as asserted by pharmaceutical sources, this practice represents yet another avenue through which cerebral malnourishment may manifest. Consider this: during the hours of slumber, your corporeal vessel undergoes an approximate 8-hour fasting period. Thus, to maintain optimal functioning throughout the day, replenishing the energy and nutrients lost during the nocturnal interlude is imperative. 8. Lack of exercise. How often do you engage in physical exertion? Be it a leisurely swim in the pool or a brisk morning jog, the pursuit of exercise stands poised to substantially ameliorate cerebral function. According to Brock Armstrong of Scientific American, physical activity serves to oxygenate the cerebral cortex and elicit the release of growth-promoting hormones. Thus, depriving oneself of these salutary benefits may serve to impede cerebral development and, over time, engender deleterious ramifications for one's overall well-being. 9. Poor sleep quality. Are you obtaining sufficient rest, or perhaps too much? The quantity and quality of your sleep hold sway over your vitality, mental well-being, as well as the efficacy of cerebral function and memory retention. Inadequate sleep may cast a shadow over your long-term memory, prompting alterations in cerebral function. Furthermore, as asserted by pharmaceutical sources, the practice of enveloping oneself in blankets during slumber may prove deleterious to cerebral health, impeding the flow of oxygen between brain and body. Do any of these deleterious habits resonate with you? Acquainting oneself with these habits at an early juncture, and endeavoring to effect change, stands poised to mitigate the risk of cerebral compromise to the greatest extent possible. Should you find this discourse enlightening, we implore you to express your appreciation by liking and sharing this video with those who may derive benefit from it. Don't forget to subscribe and activate notifications to stay abreast of future installments of our explorations into the realms of the psyche. We extend our gratitude for your viewership, and until we reconvene, farewell.